I went from zero to over $1 million in just 12 months with SaaS, and I did not write any line of code, and I broke every business rule in the book. I didn't focus on what project, didn't need to talk to any customers because they already told me exactly what they wanted without knowing it. I'm going to show you why it worked, how I am planning to scale, plus some mistakes like how I got screwed out 700K, turn things around. And if you stay until the end, you will understand the one core thing that will determine whether your project goes big or fails. Let's get into the office. The 4 businesses, it will be base 14K. Then we're gonna talk about this one. I'm not gonna give the name, 700K, you will understand why. Then we will have StalkChain plus 700K, and finally StalkFun plus 100K. Maybe we'll go a lot higher. It depends on your opinion by the end of this video, but let's go in details with those numbers and how we did this. First up, we have BasedTrading with revenue that were about $10,000 to $20,000. A platform combining Telegram and a web-based trading bot. The idea was simple but powerful. What if you could start a trade on the web and close it on Telegram? That's exactly what we built. But here is the thing, the data we were using from sources like Dex Screener was too slow. And that kind of killed the experience and made trading harder. The second issue is that we bet on BasedChain as our main target. And it didn't work out because BasedChain pretend that meme coin did not exist, didn't support anything going around that, and killed the volume on their chain. So we had the other one as Telegram, but it was not enough against the competition. And that's sad because honestly, I still think we had a really cool interface and the product. And that's the thing. The competition was a VC backed, was a way bigger team. This we built with only 2 developers. Shout out to Chad if you watched this, that contacted me after watching some of my meme coins video. So even with 2 10x dev and me being the pretty face, there were only 3 of us. And while the product was good, the infrastructure was already good. It's still top notch. That's why we can still run it now. It doesn't need any maintenance. The only thing is that it's a highly competitive market and we were just not ready, not have energy enough to fight with the bigger players at this time. So probably what we should have done better is limit the functionalities. For example, just a Telegram bot or just a web interface, because it was actually quite complex to be able to connect those two. And still, none of the competitors managed to do it, by the way. And also the mistake that we focus on the wrong chain. The developers I work with, they were more specialized on BasedChain and Ethereum. So the time to learn Solana, then the competition evolved, and we kind of like used all our energy. But that's the most important point. When you see that you're not going to be able to break through fast, just kill it. You might be able to come back later on. And I think we might be able to use that really soon if you're going to follow till the end of this video. The second project, I will not disclose the name, but the revenue were above 500 to 700K. I partnered with some devs to help them distribute their product. I drove, as I said, like more than 500K in sales in just a few months. I think it was 3 months, which is insane. But here's the kicker. I didn't get fully paid. They paid me for the first couple months and then stopped. They claimed that I wasn't tweeting enough about the product, but the truth is YouTube is way more important than Twitter for distribution. They didn't get that. And that's when things started to fall apart. To give some backstories, those devs got taken advantage by some resellers before, and they were left in the dust. So I came in and I said, all right, I'm going to help you, because they probably didn't value distribution. And that's a huge mistake. Software is cheaper and cheaper and easier to build now. But distribution, that's what makes or break a product. I was getting about 20 to 30% of the revenue, which was decent, but they didn't understand the value of attention. And that's why I ended up getting screwed, because they literally booted me out the project once I already built their brand, built the credibility, and brought all those first customers that then after referred everyone else. I could have fought this in court, but they were really, really dishonest. They said we never had agreement, we never had a contract. So they say, okay, we never had that in Canada. And even I could have bring them down because I know they didn't pay taxes before. They did without the company, but it wasn't worth it. I would have won probably. The product wasn't aligned with my values, and trying to chase after this guy would have been a waste of energy. But it taught me a valuable lesson. Partnerships can go sour quickly, and if they do, just walk away and learn from it. If I had to do it all over again, I would definitely have the dev and partners meet face to face through video calls. Everyone should be on the same page, knowing the value of what they bring to the table and understanding the bigger picture. Also, if there's one thing I wish I'd known sooner, it's about controlling distribution. Otherwise, you lose your negotiation power. If a partner decides to walk away, you should be able to control the things that you build for them. That way, you're not left without anything when things go wrong. And I could have done that by either white labeling their product or having the traffic coming through my stuff first. Now, let's talk about StalkChain, a real success. Revenue $690,000, around 700K. And it started with a member of my private community. Shout out to Kevin. We started to analyze on-chain data and saw something really interesting in the market. What we built is a platform that tracks the smart money movements, helping traders spot trends and predict what might happen next. One thing that really worked for StalkChain was how we made the data easy to understand. We tracked big wallets, their buys and sell, and then displayed it in a super simple dashboard. You didn't need to be a crypto expert to understand what was happening. We also saw massive accumulation in certain coins, which allowed us to predict the price movement. For example, you see here, spike of accumulation on the 26th, just before an explosion in market cap where it hit almost 4x in just few days. And that's because we track those things. The problem was crypto payments. While they're convenience, they made the subscription process too complicated. People don't want to log in and confirm their transaction again and go through all that friction. So we had to switch to a simpler membership model that make it easier for users, where they just pay by card and they get billed every month. And to make the product more seamless, we are working to make it more accessible, no need to log in, and you can start to use some of those tools for free. For example, all this part where it's all the influencers, you can see their trade in real time and how much they are making. So far, no one has that. And I know the competition is starting to copy us, but hey, I'm not gonna get angry at that. It's just business. So if you're familiar with the term, it's basically trying to bring more the product into a product-led stage, which is not always necessary. If your market is super hot and people are just craving for better tools or whatsoever, I wouldn't go product-led. I would go with a hard paywall because you're going to be able to sell really fast. And if you're not VC funded, that money is going to be your nest to be able to build bigger product and then to go product-led. Last but not least, StalkFun. With a revenue above $100,000, this product focuses on early meme coin market. Again, we crunch data. That's what we are very good at, is focusing on data. With this product, I turned $100 into more than $80,000 in just 2 months. And here our main goal was to create a simple interface, because the problem we had on the market while trading meme coins is you had indicators on Telegram, on Discord, on the web. It was a complete mess. And we were like, what if we brought everything into one dashboard and make it clear? I came up with the idea that we should inspire ourselves from Trello, and then Dan, or cracked up dev, that by the way dropped out school to work on this with me, so big shout out to him. And we landed on this, which is to me a fantastic experience for trading, because all those indicators, I know you might not be interested in product, but let me go for a second. I'm passionate about this. So movers is one of the metrics from PumpFun, a platform for meme coins. Meme Radar is one of our algorithms that try to spot the best meme coins. For example, 5 hours ago, he called this one Shege, and it did 93x. That one 6 hours ago, 42x. That one 18 hours ago, 38x. On and then we get PrintScan. That's another algorithm that we have, and that one, yeah, that's funny. They call the same. Like that happened quite often. This one 34x, 23x, 16x. I can see as well. Our goal is to have maximum clarity. So the success rate is 77%. That means on all the calls, it do at least from 30% to a 2x in value. And the highest average X is around 3x. So that's pretty good for PrintScan. And for meme radar, the success rate is 100% those time. It's just crazy. And then people can build their own custom dashboard, modify like that, which is quite advanced, honestly. Like that's a super advanced tool. It doesn't look like that, but building something with live data like here is super complex. Complexity, users do not care. What they need is something simple. And I think that's pretty simple. I could just lower the number of columns if I wanted to have less on screen. And this project had histories of problem. So the first payment processor that we used is a payment processor that could combine crypto and card, and then could handle membership subscription with crypto. Perfect, amazing. Well, the problem is that they went underwater because one of the services that they were providing payment to was not good. And that blocked us from receiving payment for at least a month because we had to change all the structure. So we thought, what if instead we change to charge a little transaction fee of everyone that buys through our tool? Because now on StalkFun, everyone can choose their trading bot that they like to use and buy with it, sell with it. So if I click on this one, it's going to open the trading terminal where I see all the functionalities that I want to. And we tried that. However, the problem is, by the way, there's already a 2x here on Art Live. Should have been trading instead of doing this video, huh? The problem is, when we were doing on this interface, and it was not as advanced, it was complicated. Because the users did not have all the buttons that they can have here to be fast buying, fast selling, to have all the options, stop loss, take profit, trading stop loss, all that. Then the problem is the trading experience is not smooth. And users would just like, they wanted to copy the contract address and then buy on that. So we learned from that and we removed it and went back to a simple membership that they pay every month. So that's what this project taught me, a key lesson, like simplicity wins. Traders, for example, just want to make money, and the easier you make it for them, the better. So build on top of what they already use first. So you don't need to break everything, and that's going to make the adoption a lot easier, and you're not going to have to compete against big teams. And now we're looking to have this in a mobile version, and also how we could implement again maybe the swaps directly on it, because now I am missing it. I'm like, I would like to buy directly from here, so I don't have to click and then buy there and then miss out on the time difference in between. So we want to really reduce friction. The second thing we need to work on is to find a way where it incentivizes people to talk about the product. Because, hey, let's be honest, if there's a product that lets you find the meme coins early before everyone else, and then you can make money with it, you may not share it that much because you want to keep it for yourself, which I understand. I look at the last call from PrintScan. Here we are on the 3x, on 3.4x, 1.1x. Nice down, honestly. But then we have 2.7x. So if I invested in each of those, I would have made money. The key takeaways is crazy that all those were just in less than 12 months. But all those experiences, they have one thing in common. I learned that it's not about having the best product right off the gate. It's about distribution, simplicity, and evolving with what the market really needs. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be smart and flexible. And you need to actually use the products to understand why you like them. The easiest way is to build tools on top of what others already use. If you're thinking about launching your own business, focus on getting it out there, testing it, and iterating. And if you're looking for a step-by-step guide on building a SaaS that actually works, I will dive deeper into that in future videos. Just drop a comment about which project you found the most interesting, and I will go deeper about the parts on distribution, the parts on building, and the parts on managing developers. And why not hit that subscribe button if that's still a thing? But don't forget one thing, stay handsome. Ciao.